realize that the journey is everything. There ain't no destination, man, the journey is everything. Looking back, I realize the journey is everything. Ain't no destination, man, the journey is everything. Yeah.
I'm curious to know, because we've known each other for a little while. Like, I've seen some of your journey kind of progress.
Yep.
What was it about the golf thing? Because it seems to be the golf thing for you, whatever that it means, is what kind of really helped like build what you have here, which is, first of all, welcome to Monty's Barbershop. This place is another beautiful space. I think that you might have one of the most beautiful barbershops on Long Island when it comes to the aesthetic and function, and with the bar and the golf simulator in the back and the way that the stations are set up and the lounge areas. You have a really good space here. And how many barbers?
So there's, with Justin, my partner for here, there's 4 of us. And then we're getting a new guy in this week. So there'll be 5 of us full time. And then Kara, which has been with us for a long time now. She worked at the Mauritius location. Okay. And she moved over to here just because of convenience. Yeah.
Right. So she's
with us part-time.
So you have your original shop, which is
in Mauritius.
In Mauritius.
Yep.
So how did the golf kind of play into the story of how this came about, and what it's done for your career?
So back in 2018, I was just at my Mauritius location cutting hair, regular normal day, and I got a call from the USGA saying, "Hey, we have this opportunity to cut players and caddies and coaches for the US Open. Would you be interested in this?" And I said, absolutely. I already loved golf at the time, and I was like, yeah, this will be great. Why not? So we did some back and forth emails and some phone calls and background check, and they decided to take me on. And my right-hand man was with me at the time. His name is Eddie. He moved now to Florida, and he opened up his own shop in Florida, but he was with us for a long time. So we needed somebody for the players, somebody for the caddies. And I obviously brought Eddie along with me. And we started right at Shinnecock Hills. So it was like right in our backyard. And that transpired from somebody that had came in to the barbershop who worked for the USGA. So I guess through their conversation, when they were looking to upgrade some of their player services, my name was brought up from him and from somebody else who had recommended me, and that's where it all started.
How was your name brought up? Were you playing golf at this time? Like, why do you think that happened?
Because he came in for a haircut.
Just because he came in
for
a haircut.
So somebody that worked for the USGA came in for a haircut, and then in the midst of their conversations on their end, he recommended me. Nice shop, great guy, good services. He's into golf, which was a big help too, because not everybody's into golf. So for me to be able to be into the sport so I can talk to these guys and create that conversation there was a little bit easier. So that's how it all transpired. And the fact that I was also a big golf fan was huge. You know what I mean?
It's almost like, it's like that thing's coming to you. It's like, I know I'm the guy for the job.
Yeah.
Which and seeing it on the other side, almost like we're through this a couple of years now. You definitely are the guy for the job. Like, I mean, maybe other than Mike, maybe being the guy who really likes golf, who's a barber. I mean, but it's like you said before, golf is becoming very popular right now. So I think you having this space with the simulator and like you're kind of niching into this community. What I like to focus on in terms of barbering is like, who's your clientele, right? Like when we started, you and I might have started 20 years ago, whatever it was. Yeah. Everyone was getting skin fades and ice picks, and it was like you had to be the best and the sharpest and the cleanest, all for $12, right? That was the game we were playing, right? To pay your rent, and it was a fun game to play. It was very different, but now I think Mike and I stepped into this lane of like, well, it seems like the guys that go into hair salons pay more money and they're only getting scissor trims. They're not even getting fades. So we kind of focused on that a little bit. And then if you look at like golfers, like look at their hair, it's all like cool, easy, nice, stuff. It's not like this very intricate, like fade me up and make it perfect. It's like I got a mullet or just trim me up. Yeah. Seems a little bit more gentleman-like almost.
Very easy.
But the value is still there because of the service you're providing. And I mean, a lot of these guys maybe even are attached to some wealth. Maybe there's a lot of wealth involved in golf.
You know what the thing is, I think for golfers is that, and this was a very unique thing that happened, because if you were to talk to anybody, they're like, oh, I never thought of that, right? Like these guys do need haircuts because they're traveling 2 to 6 or even 8 weeks at a time, right? So they don't have a chance to go home to go to their possibly their normal guy that they would go to. But then at the same time, they also don't want to just go to a random shop and potentially get butchered, because I've heard those stories from a couple of these guys. So for them to be able to know that they can come in and get a service from somebody who has been working with them for a while, they know the quality of service they're going to get is perfect for them. And they look sharp for interviews, for their dinners, because every event that they do, they have like their sponsors dinners, obviously their interviews, and then they just look sharp while they're out on the course. You know?
That's why I wore a tie today. I felt like it was my first day of school. I felt like we're gonna. I feel like Lex Friedman right now, his little brother that just graduated from middle school.
That's funny.
So talking a little bit about golf and like how it could be a really good client for you to build. Are they coming into your space here? Are you going to service them there? What does that look like?
Since I started working with the USGA, I travel with them. I do the US Open, and that transpired into the US Senior Open. So I do both of those events with the USGA. That also transpired into the Walker Cup. So I'll usually go somewhere, wherever they are, and just stay. Like, for example, this year they flew into San Francisco. I went to the hotel, gave them haircuts at the hotel, and then from there they just drove over to Cyprus and played. But I was able to cut them where they flew into. Also, LIV Golf. Since I was working with these guys at the US Open, they were like, "Hey, are you going to do any LIV events with us? We'd love for you to be there." And I was like, "Not yet." And they're like, "Hold on, I'll be right back." So they went out, got their contacts, came back literally same day, like within an hour. And I got a contact to stay in touch with. And I did a couple of LIV events now. So
Wow.
Yeah.
It's not conflicting between the two organizations, or
No, not at all. No. It's just the fact that I'm able to give haircuts to these guys when they need it is
who pays more? LIV?
I got to be honest with you, they don't have as big of a budget as the USGA or the PGA does. So
Okay.
no, I've actually had to turn down LIV events. As much as I love it and want to continue to do it, I also still have a family and, bills to pay. So for me to go there and it to cost me money, it just wouldn't make sense. So I've had to turn down events for that.
How is the feeling of having your two loves collide? Like
incredible.
cutting hair is one and golf is the other. And now, did you ever think that they would collide?
No, it was something that I thought would be really cool, because I always had dreamed about cutting professional athletes, whether I would go there, they would come to me, or whatever the case may be, a recommendation. And I just kind of put it out into the universe, but I didn't know it would actually happen. And it just kind of fell into place, like completely organically. It wasn't someone I reached out to. It was just someone who recommended me, which was pretty cool. But the fact that it is something that came into fruition, it's a miracle, man. It's amazing. It's a blessing. I'm very grateful. I'm very blessed to have this opportunity. And it has brought in a ton of business for both of the locations now. So the fact that I am big into golf, I love making these guys look good. And I've established such like a cool relationship with so many of these guys that I still speak to, whether it's through Instagram, through text messages, frequently. It's really cool. It's really cool. And I love it. Yeah.
Yeah, that's so cool.
Stay on that thought. Is that recording? Just want to make sure before we get 2 hours in. Yeah. Okay, beautiful. Go ahead. We'll cut that out. Sorry, Avi.
I mean, you cut so many golfers, and how does it feel to cut the best golfer in the world, Scottie Scheffler?
It's awesome. I mean, it's great to be able to. What I love about what I do is it's more private, right? Like everyone loves sitting in the barber chair, right? Because they know they're going to get a good haircut. Well, most of the time, but yeah, they know they're going to get a good haircut. So the fact that these guys can come in that room, get away from all the noise and the craziness, and kind of sit down and relax and unwind and just close their eyes and get a nice haircut is very rewarding for me. And I've established, like I said, over the years, such a good and comfortable relationship with these guys that they can shut their eyes and shut down for a little bit, where they don't have to feel like they're on with me. But it's cool, man, to have the best golfer in the world come and sit in your chair and be confident with the haircut that he's going to get from you is awesome. It's so rewarding.
Yeah.
I think that's the coolest thing about being a barber. And when you're in those rooms, like you got to cut Eli Manning a couple of weeks ago, like I feel like when you have this someone breaks a barrier where they're like this guy who you kind of get along with. He's like touching your head and doing things to you. When you see this guy out, it's like there's a different connection with this guy.
Absolutely.
And you made him look good and feel good. It's like, oh, that's my guy right there. Like, what happened with you and Eli?
I mean, I had so I cut Eli and he came in, and I had the thought of, I'm going to be his guy the same way you have the thought of, I'm going to be the guy where he could come to and he's not on. Like, he could shut his eyes, he could chill out. He knows he's going to get a great, haircut and just chill out. And I'm not going to fanboy him. Listen, I grew up watching the Giants. I know you, Eli, bro. Like, I cried when we won the Super Bowl, So, but I kept it very professional. And I wanted to do that because I wanted him to feel comfortable.
Yep.
I want him to be able to, I'm going to get my hair cut. It's not going to be this crazy fan that's cut my hair.
What do you do on the golf course? I think that's the coolest part.
Yes. So I just wanted a safe space for him, and I created that for him. And then I gave him a haircut, and he was playing in Riverhead. He's a club member there. And he's on the golf course and he's talking to his buddies, and he brought up my name, and one of his guys came in to get a haircut. And I just thought that was the coolest thing. I'm like, Eli's saying my name. What are we talking about?
Yep.
But that's how
the word travels,
works.
and it's really cool, and it happened completely organically. And I think that's the best experience, when it just happens organically, like your story.
Yeah.
I think that's what's so cool about golf, though, when you think about it. And I think Mike and I, we come from different worlds. Like, we're 10 years apart. I've been doing this for 20. You've been doing it for a little bit less. I know what does everybody say after you say organic growth or word of mouth? They always say, oh, that's the best way. Because it is. It's the best way to make a relationship with somebody, to make an impression. Yep. And I think that on the golf course, it's a great way to stick out. And to be the one barber that's on the golf course who made the time for themselves to do that and can play, I think puts you in a good position.
Yeah, absolutely.
Do you notice that? Are you pulling a lot of clientele from golfing?
Absolutely, yeah. I mean, we still get people just the other day, I got a new customer, a younger guy. He's a freshman in college, plays golf. He's actually a very good golfer, and came in. And I obviously know my personal clientele. So when I get somebody new that will book me online, I'm like, oh, hey, welcome. How'd you hear about us? And he's like, I see that you cut a lot of professional golfers. So I saw you on internet. I came up on his For You page. So he's like, I just clicked on your page, booked you from your app, and here I am. And he's local. He goes away to college, but he lives fairly local. So he came in since he was home, and, I've got just that, for example, new clients that are sitting in my chair, and then we'll get walk-ins that come in. Obviously I have it on the front of our store here. I have advertising on the other store in the front. So yeah, we get new customers from the fact that we do that, or, that I do that all the time.
That's amazing.
Which is cool. Yeah.
I'm kind of curious, just like even outside in, I know Mike and I talk a lot about like why we do this podcast, and it's transferred a little bit from like local businesses to like barbershop owners, because that's what we do the most. But I think I'm curious in that lane of like, where are we right now? I feel like I'm in South Carolina at like a villa, like a resort, right? It doesn't feel very like Long Island, like, Main Street. It's very different over here. This is all new.
They did an awesome job at this place. When I was looking to open up another store, I definitely wanted to expand. I was looking at a bunch of different places. This place was not even on my radar, only because I knew that they were still building a lot, and I figured it was going to be like extremely high in rent. So I was like, let me see what my other options are first. Now, my partner, who was just working at my other store with us at the time, was like, hey, I think this would be a good opportunity for us here. They are up and coming. They are building, and it's a really beautiful place. So he got the information, brought it to me. We sat down, we went over it, and I was like, this is A1. Because if we're one of the first people that get in on this place, everyone's going to see our name as new people are coming to rent the place. They're coming to grab a bite to eat, or whatever the case may be. There's a lot of potential for more growth, and it's been a home run. And they're continuing to build here. Yes. I mean, when we came in here, there was 10,000 people that lived in here, and then they connected the condo, the condominiums, Whispering Pines. So that's another like 3,000 to 4,000 people. So right then and there, we had about 14,000 people, and they're building another 55 and over in the back.
Wow.
Which I would imagine is going to be another couple thousand
Any
people.
golf
So like
courses
just
over here?
right in here. What's that?
Any golf courses in this little area?
I wish there was. No, that's what somebody said. Actually, the owner apparently had thought about putting at least a driving range or something, or was preached to him, but I don't think they want to do. I think they want to just put homes.
Those guys will come here. They'll scratch that itch here. They'll join your league, and they could be a part of golf. In this
we have
space.
people that come in the league that don't come here for haircuts.
No way.
Yeah.
Wow.
They just like join the league to come in. But that's another reason why we wanted to do that league here, which I'm sure we'll get into that, the simulator and stuff. But one of the reasons was to draw new business in. People can talk about it, chit chatting and be like, oh yeah, they have a simulator there. I can go hit balls when I want to, or I could play in their sim league, and that's sure as hell what happened. But it draws people in because now some of those people are actually customers here.
Amazing. Yeah, I want to talk a little bit more about that because we've been talking a little bit about golf and the space that you're in and what kind of clients you attract. Did you start this location with the golf simulator in mind as a part of the culture?
We did. We actually built our shop around that golf simulator.
I love shit like that.
Yeah.
I love shit
so
like that.
Because I'm so into it, right? I got a lot of the other guys into it at the shop, and then my partner, just became big into it as well. Started taking lessons, got fit for clubs, and I was like, dude, we got to put a simulator in this place. And he was like, absolutely, let's do it. So we got the simulator, figured out how big of the simulator we wanted to get, and we built it from the back room out to the shop. So yeah, we built it around that. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
I love that. And then the idea in mind, it was that this is going to build culture, or there's going to be a little bit of a business around this, or
both. We wanted to have a place where people can come and just feel like they're kind of getting away, like a men's room, a men's lounge, and that's like with the couches that we have here, the environment, people can come and grab a drink. That's what we wanted that's the culture that we want to provide, like an upscale gentleman's lounge. And then people that are into golf can come and hit balls and practice and play. And we could talk golf. We have sports on every TV here, and that's, the culture we wanted to create in the environment too.
So we talked a little bit about like marketing, like how do you market this information for people to know that it exists?
I do use a lot of the golf stuff for my marketing. I feel like because that's the biggest draw for me. So like I've had a couple of magazines, more recently the Mount Sinai magazine, that just reached out to me and they were like, hey, we love what you have going on. We want to put you on the front cover. And, I see that you took a picture because you cut Tiger Woods. Can we use that? Absolutely. So I sent them those pictures and boom, people see that. Everyone knows who Tiger Woods is, whether they're 5 years old or, they're an old head now at this point, you know that face. So that was a big attraction. But as far as my marketing, I use the golf to bring people in and on top of the place, I want people to, I don't want to just put the outside of my store. I want people to see the inside of both the stores. So on the more recent thing I did, which is Valpak, I have a picture of both of the insides of both locations, so they could actually see what they're coming into.
Very cool. I'm curious. Even did you want to say something about golf?
I was going to ask, do you have a golf simulator in the other place?
I don't know.
So
that one's smaller.
Putting green. I saw you doing that this morning. You were putting in there.
We do. We have one of Jake, the manager over there, has bought like the blow up. Putting green.
I've seen that.
Yes, you can add like undulation to it. So he has that in there. So the guys will like play games and bet in between cuts. Yeah. But no, the ceilings aren't high enough there to put a simulator. I wish if that was.
Do you feel like the golf simulator has boosted business?
Definitely.
Yeah. Just
like
brings more people in.
Like people from across the street will hear about it and just book, especially in the wintertime when they can't golf outside anymore because it's too cold or clubs are closed. They'll literally just come in here to book. So some people don't even get haircuts. Like I mentioned before, cool. They just come in to
walking
rent
with bags,
the bay.
Or they go through the back.
Yeah, mostly they'll come in the front. Like a lot of the time, like our close friends and customers will be like, "Hey, I'm in the back. Can you open up?" Sure, no problem. But yeah, most of the guys will just walk, and it's kind of funny, right? To see a guy walking with their golf bag. It's almost been 2 years. They know.
But it's because like if somebody's across the street and they see some dude walking in with a golf bag, they're like, "What the fuck is going on in there?" It says barbershop. They got a golf bag. Like
some shit.
It's very catchy.
Yeah.
I think what's even cooler about it to even relate to you on is because when did you start cutting hair? How long have you been doing this?
I got in a shop in 2000. When did I open? 2007, 2008 is when I got into a barbershop.
Great year to do something that everyone thought was a terrible idea.
Yeah,
honestly. But I think and it's cool because barbering, it finds you, I think, and it find you go into a barbershop around that time especially, and who was walking in the front doors? Guys with DVDs. It was a different culture.
Oh yeah.
They were selling bootleg shoes, and the DVD guy would come twice a week, and the scissor guy. So it's like you're just really elevating that culture. You still have the culture. It's not like vanilla in here where you come in and there's like, oh, I just get my hair cut and it looks nice. You're building a different type of culture. You're building around something unique. I think that also elevates the experience. Like I've been getting into golf like recently with Mike because he's in it and we have it on in the shop and people are watching it, and the conversations are better around that than they are around politics or around anything else. So I do like that.
And since, like we were saying before, right, Mike, like more people are into golf now, so it creates way more conversation now, in your haircut instead of just your haircut.
Yeah.
Well, you
Or
can
like
really
what they
gauge
got
it.
going
You can
on.
really gauge a guy on what kind of guy he is depending on how he talks about golf.
Yeah.
If he's extremely serious and he's never having any fun, I don't really want that. I don't want anything to do with that guy. But I get what you're about. If you're like, like I'm definitely having a good time. If I make contact, I had a great day. Mike is taking it a little more serious, but isn't going to get down. Mike's a perfect guy to play golf with because he can play and he's not like going to be upset if he misses the ball. So I think there's a different type of guy, and then there's the guys that won't touch it, guys that don't want to play golf because their ego's too big because they suck at it so bad. And that's like what's fun about it is that everyone kind of is figuring this thing out together. So
Yeah, that's
I do
like there's
that.
like the top golf guys, and then there's the guys that go out and actually want to play.
I feel like you're a different type of golfer if you enjoyed golf before COVID and then after COVID, like there's this like new era of golfers,
Yep.
Did you see any of that, like from like outside in? Did you see something going on with the golf community? Did you see that it might pick up, or did you kind of like, were you a golfer before COVID? Like, did you enjoy it? You played?
Yeah, I did. I played. I didn't take it. I got like way more into it throughout COVID.
Yeah,
for sure. I mean, I was serious about it. I had gotten fit for my clubs, and I played a lot. I became a member at a golf club. It was the Vineyards out in Riverhead before COVID, and then COVID happened, and the club was the only place that I can go where there wasn't a million people because they actually made it private at the time. So I was playing golf all the time. But so I was into it, but like over the years, I just got even more into it and more into it. And, I had the simulator at the house, and then we got the simulator here. So yeah, it definitely has grown on me and, even the team here way more over the years.
Yeah. As an entrepreneur, did you see like the growth in golf, and did you see how you could scale your business to this thing that has a huge uproar?
Definitely. Yeah. Because golf became so much more popular. Like we were saying before, like even just with what you're wearing, the shoes and cleats and spikes on your feet, the hoodies, everything, like everything just became so cool. So yeah, I definitely saw that, and I kind of just like used that to elevate the business.
Yeah.
You got to imagine at one point, because like Tiger Woods is cool. He's probably like, now it's cool. Because he was cool, but he was doing it in a time where it wasn't that cool actually. And now it's like this thing. I think what got me into it was really just Bryson DeChambeau on YouTube, Nelk Boys playing golf. Like it just kind of got me into like, what can I watch on TV with my kids that isn't completely boring and completely inappropriate? And to me, it was golf, and that's kind of what got me into it. It was really YouTube golf.
And that has blown up tremendously over the years.
Huge.
And, obviously there were a lot of YouTube golfers before Bryson hit the scene, but being that Bryson, he's just so big in the golf world, he made it even bigger.
Yeah.
I mean, we watch it in here all the time. We're always watching
great.
Bryson's clips and Grant's clips and, any of these other guys that are on YouTube. It's cool. It's fun. People want to watch it. Our customers want to watch it, and we're all engaged in it.
Yep.
It's awesome.
The older guy, like we had an older client in the other week. How old would you say John is? He's got to be 70s.
Yeah, probably.
Successful gentleman.
Yeah,
He's like
early
trying to figure it out. He's like, what is this, a podcast?
Yeah.
It kind of is a podcast. And then
Yeah, they're in the cart, they're talking.
Yeah.
Like it honestly is. Like they're playing, and then they have that cart, scene when they're just like shooting questions at each other and talking about the game or talking about not the game, and it's just very interesting.
Well, this guy will be outside in between clients, like
oh,
fake,
bro, I got
fake
my
swimming.
clubs in the car.
No clubs. He'll just be swinging out in the parking lot, and some older guy will walk by, and they'll be like, they'll say something.
Yep.
But I do think it kind of goes back to like, I think a lot about barbers. I think a lot about like, how do you find your niche? How do you find the right client for you? And I think it kind of goes back to what you're doing is you do what you like. It could be anything. You could like hip hop. You could like anything. Just kind of stay towards your lane. But what's interesting about golf is that these guys are driving up in Benzes, and they're, what I mean? You're assimilating with a like-minded group who are people who are successful and might not know somebody who's a up-class barber. So, but I guess on the other side of it, how have you been able to come through on your offer or your promise of having a dope spot and farm the right talent? Like, how do you make that happen?
I got to be honest, we've been really fortunate over the years where the people just kind of come to us. I've actually personally had a lot of people that have said they've been intimidated to even come into the shop because of the quality of barbers that we have. You know, they're like, wow, these guys are so good. Like, I can't work for you. And I'm like, dude, you can. We've brought people in from when they were scratch, you know, work with them from the beginning, or when they were in bow season, they were in the barbering program, and they still needed to learn and grow a lot. And we took them in, the confident ones that were, you know, were like, oh, I think I could do this. We brought them in and made them better barbers, made them elite barbers, made them more confident barbers, built up clientele. But to answer your question, we haven't had to really like go out and like look for the talent. They've kind of came to us, which I'm really grateful for too.
What do you think stands out the most for upcoming barbers, like, and look at your spot? Like, is it how beautiful it is, or the haircuts? Like,
I think it's the culture.
Yeah,
for sure. Like, what kind of environment do Justin and I myself like want to create for my team? You know, we want to make this a place where people feel comfortable, where they want to come to work, where they enjoy being at. Like, I don't want people to be like, it's Monday. I mean, this spot we're closed on Mondays currently. The other spot we're open, but I don't want people to be like, oh, it's Monday, I got to come to work. I want people to be like, yo, I can't wait to get to work on Monday because I know I'm going to make more money. You know, and we joke around. There's a lot of banter, right? You guys know there's a lot of banter in the shop. We joke, we laugh, we have fun, we have a good time. Over here, obviously, we hit balls in the back in between haircuts and stuff, but we want people to enjoy being here, have fun, and have an open line of communication, right? So if they don't like something from another barber, if they don't like something from us, if they don't like something from a customer, they can pull us aside, you know, hey, Justin, hey, Mont, can we talk to you real quick? Absolutely. Let's go talk about it. We sit down, we talk about it, we air it out, and we figure it out. And all of those things create culture in a shop, and that's the biggest thing. That's my biggest thing, culture in our store.
How do you keep so I don't know how it runs here. I don't know if you rent or it's commission, but how do you keep the fire under your barbers?
We do commission at both shops, and I think that's like the biggest thing for barbers wanting to better themselves, because we both win. You know, rent is constantly going up, insurance is constantly going up, all your other expenses, electric, everything's going up, right? So it's hard for me to charge a rent price that wouldn't continue to go up because of our expenses. So the easiest way for me to just go about that is to do a commission. But I also have a tiered system. So once you hit a certain number in sales, you get a higher commission. And I think that's the best way we can have growth for us and growth for our team as well, is if we just do a tier system.
Yeah.
You know, you win, we win, and it incentivizes you to work instead of, you know, you guys have been in the industry a long time, right? So for me, seeing some of the other barbershops that I worked at, there were guys that would just be like, oh, I made, let's just say it was $200 in rent. I made my $200. I'm not going to show up for 2 more days, because they paid their rent and they really didn't have much to pay back at home. So they're like, I don't have to come to work. And now that kind of screws the shop. You know, forget about you. You want to do what you want to do, but that kind of screws the shop now. So when we have walk-ins coming in and people trying to call and book appointments and the other guys are booked, we have one less guy that's taking people, whether it's an appointment or a walk-in. So I think the commission base incentivizes the barbers to want to work and make more money.
I totally agree with that. And we've heard that in, you know, our last podcast with Holy Black, how another barbershop that's actually running a successful barbershop, I think, in a different lane, is doing the same, has the same approach. It's like, this is a business. And especially for the barbershop owner, like, this is a venture to make money at some point. So for me to rent the spaces and then be capped and then nobody makes any more money, it doesn't make any sense. But you actively see yourself, you still cut hair. And what are you in both locations?
I'm just in the new location in Yaphank. We're only 10 minutes away, and it wasn't really a big jump for really any of my clients. There was a couple people that stayed in Mauritius, which is great. I'm happy that they found somebody else that they're going to now. And I also knew that we would gain new clients here. So for the couple of people, maybe the handful of people that stayed in Mauritius, I picked up new clients from just our community here alone or from the local town. But it wouldn't make sense for me to keep bopping back and forth for a 10-minute drive. Yeah. If I was 30 plus minutes away, I think that would make a difference. But no, I just work here full time. But I'm still here full time. Yeah.
I feel like just by the nature of the conversation, it makes me like, cameras off. I have this question, cameras on. I guess I have the question too. It's, what do you think about the price point today in the industry? Like, where are you at with it? Where do you? What do you
We
think?
just raised our prices.
Okay.
So our minimum is 40 for a regular haircut, then 45 for like a skin fade. Let's say a 1 on the sides, a skin fade. My personal price is higher, but I think 40 is fair, especially because in a place like this that's so new and as like continuing to build, the rent's very high, the insurance is very high, so we have to also charge a premium price. But I never wanted to go by what other barbershops are charging. I felt that our barbers are much more top tier and high quality, so they should be getting more money for their haircuts. So we were always like anywhere from $3 to $5 higher, even at my Mauritius location before we even got here. But I'm comfortable with the price points. But it's funny because, I'll go on vacation, just be chit-chatting with people, and some guy from Tennessee is like, yeah, I get charged $60 or $65 for a basic haircut. And I'm like, how the hell are we in New York charging, $30 or $40 a haircut for our minimum price in the shop? And this guy's not even batting an eye at paying $60, $65 for a regular haircut without his beard done, But I guess it is what it is for where we are, where we are located. But I'm okay with the $40 price. I think that's fair.
I do think it's fair. I think we do something different where like we're not taking walk-ins. So it's like what you expect, what you're expecting when you walk in.
Yeah.
And I think it's like if they saw the price online that they're aware, and hopefully that the thing comes through on the other end and it's good enough. Right. So yeah, I think price is interesting just because, like I said many times, we started a long time ago where it was $12, $15. Once it got to like even 20, it was like, yo, relax, barbers, relax.
Yeah.
And I'm going, what do you want me to do? Like, I want to make a living a certain way. I don't know how quick you are. I like to take my time. 20 years in, I still like to take my time.
Same.
So I like to charge a price that, and again, like if you're 10 minutes late and you're 15 minutes late, you're still going to get the same attitude from me. But if you're 10 minutes late and you had a 30-minute appointment, I'm upset. You ruined my day. You're fucking with my money. It's like it changes everything. So I do like the idea of being able to provide value for a price that makes sense. I am curious about, we talked a little bit like farming to get the space filled with quality barbers. I know from knowing you did work as a barber instructor for a little while.
Yeah, so I did it at Belport Bosie's for a little while, and then I had to leave there because I got the opportunity to buy the building in Mauritius and open up another store. So I was like I have to pick and choose, and that was really my goal and my plan, to be there.
Okay.
So I had to resign from the teaching position and go full time into getting, purchasing this building, getting it up and going inside so I can put a barbershop there. Then after a couple of years, I was recommended to teach a barbering program at William Floyd, and they wanted to start a barbering program there. So I sat down with the architect, I sat down with the school board and, the vice principal, went over everything and created a curriculum, got all the books and everything we needed. And we opened up a barbering program in William Floyd High School. So now it saved the school district hundreds of thousands of dollars between all these students that they would normally have to bus out to a Bosie's, and they kept them in school, which they already had a cosmetology program. So they kind of, and I think automotive was there. So they already had like some sort of ins and outs on how they can make it work. So they changed the home ec room they took everything out of there, constructed the whole room, and we put a barbering program in there, and it was great. I did that for I think 2.5 years, and then this was just before COVID hit. I was talking with the PGA Tour to do a couple of more PGA Tour events, and once again now I'm stuck in between a rock and a hard place. I can't just tell the school I'm going to be away for a week, so I can't come and teach, so you're going to have to get somebody to come and take my class. But I could do that if I had my own business. So I said, wow, this is a tough decision to make. I had, a teacher salary there right off the bat. And there was a different avenue I took to get my CTE certification. So I did that. And I resigned. I had resigned from that program because of the events I was going to start doing more. And then like a couple days later, COVID hit. So it shut the program down anyway. Oh, wow. So it kind of like worked out. So I resigned from that. COVID hit, took it out. Now I'm teaching my students for the rest of the year online. So I was like just doing some online classes. We were, I had all the students bring their mannequins home, some of their tools home. And I was just doing things, via, Zoom or Skype or whatever I was doing at the time.
It's not a great way to learn barbering.
It was tough. And then, like, you know, these guys were also, they're not tapping in anymore now. You know, so I'd have like 2 or 3 of the students come and tapping in online rather than, you know, 12 to 15 students.
Do you think these programs have success to get these kids in high school to learn this trade?
Yeah.
You think?
I think it's great. So Kara, you know, she works part-time here, like I mentioned before, because she's the full-time educator at William Floyd School District now as the barbering instructor. She's transformed that program, and it's amazing. It's incredible what she's done there. We've actually had a couple of students, whether they've came here to learn or they're actually working at my Mauritius location right from her program. Yeah, so it's good. I between her, Mr. Ricciardo over at the Bellport Bossies,
Okay.
they're both doing great jobs, and a lot of their barbers have gone into other local shops and got jobs right out of the program. So I think it's good.
I agree. I just think it's almost a shame, just from what I know. We had Kyle that works at Wine Dance. There's only a couple programs that exist inside of high schools for the vocation, I guess, of it.
Yep.
And then there's the BOCES, I guess, that offer the program. But I mean, when I was in high school, it wasn't even an option. You had to go
Same.
to cosmetology and do nails, and I was like, I'm not doing that.
Yeah.
I'll just be an apprentice. So that there was that that option. How did you start?
Same.
It
wasn't available. And I was like, I'm not going to go to school for Cosmo. So I went to a local barbershop, and I was like, hey, can you help me get my license? The guy said, are you serious? I said, yeah. Help me get my license. And then I just would bring like my friends in to cut in front of them. Mm-hmm. And that's how it started. Yeah.
Just
as
trying
an
not
apprentice.
to become an alcoholic like the rest of them and stay focused on what you're doing.
You know, and at that time, right, it was like the barbershops were more ghetto.
Yeah.
You know, when I was coming up. So like you said, like people are coming in selling DVDs and sneakers and getting minutes on their Boost mobile phone, you know, and who's yelling and screaming, causing a ruckus in the shop. Sometimes it was crazy, but that's how I got it.
It's funny. I still have PTSD. Mike sees it too with me. With like walk-ins come in, they like demand something of me. I'm like, nah, you know, because they used to be like, yo, get you ready, you know, like you have to be ready because you had to get 3 people in a half an hour to make good money. Now I'm like, you know, don't talk to me like that.
It's funny because you were brought up and you started cutting hair in that era, and I started cutting hair in a whole different era.
But I tried to make you
I didn't
skip
see
walk-ins.
that.
I tried to make you just go straight to the appointment. You know what? We're going to get to a place in this where you're blowing my phone up. I'm not answering. I need to transfer this into appointments anyway. So like start there. And I don't know if it was the right approach, but that's kind of how it started.
Yeah.
Was that you could avoid that annoyance of like somebody's walking in, someone's calling you, and now you just disappointed 2 people instead of just coming through for that one person to say, hey, I'm ready. You ready to go? You know, like, I don't know if it was the approach. And that's why
I think it was a great
introduction.
introduction because
You're welcome.
yeah, thank you. Because I think if I came into the game in that era, I don't think I would have had the experience that I have now. Because like when I
Yeah, but it was different. It built thick skin, definitely.
Definitely
built thick skin. It was fun. Even in those environments where there was like that one guy who'd come in, a barber that was on drugs and everyone hated him. It was just like, there was still an environment that was, and it's changed. It's changed a lot. I'm glad it's changed a lot because I never thought that this would be something that it is right now.
yeah, same.
I mean, shit, there's still barbershops that run like that, no?
oh, there are. Yeah.
Yeah.
We talk about it. We still talk about it all the time. I mean, both of the crews weren't around when I was working at these other shops that people will be cool to your face, and then when you're off that day, then other barbers and they'll be like, yo, don't go to Mont. Like, come to me. He fucked your shit up. And I didn't, but they would be like, no, he fucked you up. Like, come to me. I got you. And trying to like poach customers in their own shop with their own guys. But like that created thick skin. You know, it really did. Because then when they would come back to me and be like, yo, so-and-so was saying X, Y, and Z about you. I'm like, whatever. He's an idiot. Like, who cares?
It's also seemingly a byproduct of like our generation of barbers who are trying to really build strong cultures now.
Yeah.
And in different ways, because it's like, okay, I see where this is going. These people are going to spend most of their time here around. We're all going to be around each other. It's going to become a family. So what do we want that family to be based on? Do we want to sit around the dinner table and eat, or do we want to eat in our rooms? And, you know, and I think that's what I love about barbering. That's why I wore my tie today, Monty, is because you can do whatever, you know, you can kind of be who you want in this industry, and it's whoever serves you. And there's a community out there for you to serve. So I think that's really cool about it.
Yeah, no, absolutely. I agree.
Yeah.
Do you think as a owner of a barbershop, it's tough to find that in a barber, like that, you know, well-spoken,
Like professionalism?
professional, you know, in a barber, or like, do you notice something right away and you're like, fuck, I can't have this in my shop?
Yeah, I've been through the ringer a lot. I've been through the ringer over the years, from my first shop in Mastic to Mauritius. I've given people shots. They seem cool right off the bat. Everyone's on their best behavior in the beginning, right? And then you start to see as they're working the real caliber of a person they are. Who's a drug addict, who went back to doing it, who's coming in late, who's leaving early, if I had to step out or if I'm not in, who's acting like an idiot and saying stupid things or whatever to customers. It is very hard to get professional barbers. But I do think, although the generation now, there's not a lot of people that like want to work as hard as our generation. The professionalism is a little bit more there than what it was back when I was like coming up in the industry.
You think social has a little bit to do with that? Like seeing the Sam Rascals and seeing all these certain people behind the chair that are doing it at a high level?
I do. Yeah. Especially because all these, the newer kids, the younger generation now that are coming up in barbering programs, what are they doing? They're going to YouTube and they're seeing like some of the really high end barbers
and
how they're conducting themselves. And they're like, I kind of want to be like that. So yeah, I think the professionalism is definitely on its way up in our industry. Mm-hmm. But it is hard. It is hard. The biggest thing for me, I think, is not just how somebody conducts themselves, but it's being here, being present, making sure you're on time, and you're not just leaving early because it's shot towards the end of the night, or if it's a slower day, middle of the week, and you're like, I'm not really getting anybody. Can I peel? Mm-hmm. No, you got to be here. You got to put the time in, because if you leave at 4:00 and we close at 7:00, and then a family of 3 comes in, a father and his 2 kids, now we just turn these people away because it might have been slow for 2 or 3 hours before, And
they could be lifetime clients, spending thousands of dollars with you.
That's how I've built up such a big clientele from the other barbershops that I worked in, where all those guys were like, yo, I'm out. It's slow. It sucks. And I'd be like, all right, I guess it's just me in here. And I'd ride it out till we close, and then I'd get that new client, new family. And I just transpired into more and more people, because, right, you cut hair for one good person, they tell 5 people,
Yeah. So with that being said, it's like, how does cutting hair and running a business line? Like, does it butt heads, or does it kind of work?
It can be tough. I think I found a good happy medium now, because I take time out of my schedule to, check on the other shop, make sure bills and things are taken care of for this shop, for both shops. Checking in with my team, making sure that everyone's good over at Mauritius. Obviously, I'm here with these guys, so making sure everyone's good here. And I have private conversations with everyone from the team, from both teams, just to make sure everyone's good. So I think at this point, I've also matured a lot with a lot of different aspects in the game over the years, but I find a good balance now in running the business and working in the business.
I think what's something that you bring to the table, just like I'm even seeing you like on YouTube. You ever see yourself on YouTube?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
With what? Golf, barber content type shit?
All of it. Yeah.
Cool.
Like cutting hair, golf stuff, golf and barbering related. Like,
Very
yeah,
cool.
absolutely. Yeah.
I think the hardest thing when it comes to barbering, and when it comes to a position that you're in, you're a family man, because not only have you combined both your loves, you combined all 3 of them, because your family is a big part of it, and you're able to do this and also have that. Very difficult challenge, I think. And I think that where was I going with that? The football got me sidetracked. I was talking about YouTube,
seeing yourself on YouTube.
Combining all
the
of it.
economics of barbering. How like you get this young barber and he's like, all right, I taught you how to cut hair, and you now know how to come in and be here on time and be personable. But the economics behind it of like, all right, well, you don't have health insurance, so you have to figure that out. No one's ever talked to you about a retirement plan in your life, so you got to figure that out. So like all these little things, these details, do you find that is like almost on your plate to mentor I
do. And actually, as part of you coming in here, I make sure everyone signs a W-9 so that they get a 1099 at the end of the year to handle any transaction that's done where people prepay or want to pay by credit card. So they're responsible for that. Then I tell everybody, you should really incorporate yourself or do an LLC so you can have write-offs. I also have a financial advisor that I've been dealing with since I was 21 years old that I've relayed to every single barber in the shop and said, hey, speak to this guy to set up a retirement for yourself, a life insurance policy, whatever you want to do, speak to a financial advisor. So I give people, everyone on our team, all these different outlets to help themselves, because I didn't get that, but that's something I wanted to offer to people. And
that's huge.
It's definitely helped a lot of these guys.
It almost does become your responsibility of like, you've accumulated this information for close to 20 years. Like you're the guy to help these people. It's not just teaching them how to cut hair, because you can do it on YouTube, and you can really kind of learn anything on YouTube about financial literacy or all of it. But that mentoring piece, I think, was so valuable. And I think even our last conversation went to AI. We were talking about AI in this industry, and like, it seems almost untouchable in a way, how this industry is so personable and it's so physical and emotional, that it doesn't seem like AI will take it from us, but maybe it'll have a place in it, I'm sure. But I think that it's really cool that we have something that is so, it is so community oriented that you really can't, I don't know, where else is that? I don't see it. That's why I'm still showing up. It's definitely not a great money play. If I was to think like, oh, I want to make a lot of money, the last thing I would think is like, oh, I want to cut hair. It's the last thing I would think, honestly. But there's a way to do it. There is. And there's certain people doing it really well. Like you look at Jay Majors driving, what he's driving, what he's doing.
There's a lot of financial freedom in it, which is good.
There is,
and freedom in general with your schedule. If I got to go to my kid's event, I just block off my schedule or talk to some of my clients. Hey, I have X, Y, and Z going on. So can we move to a different day or time? I think that that's the biggest thing in our industry, is the fact that we can make as much or as little of the money as we want, while also being able to create a schedule for ourselves and our lives, whether we have a family or we don't. Yeah, vacations, family, whatever the case may be.
It's amazing. So what's your vision for Monty's barbershop? You have 2 of them now.
We have 2. I would love to expand. The most I would do is probably 1 more, and that would be if all the chairs were filled, I can then fill my chair, everything's running and paying for itself, and then maybe take on somebody from the team who really wants to open up their own shop, partner up with them too, show them different ways and tips and tricks, because I already have all the information now, right? And help them grow. So this way we both win, That's amazing. And that's one of the reasons why I was absolutely willing to partner with Justin, is because I already had the plan and the idea and the format, right? And he was willing to utilize the Monty's Barbershop name and brand, so because it was already local in the community to build. And that's why like half the people that come to us that live over here or around here were like, oh, this is great. I'm on the North Shore. So, and I heard there was another Monty's that opened up. So it could have been any other shop, but the fact that they knew it was Monty's, they already liked going to the other one, they came here, was huge for us. But I also look at it as, I'd rather a piece of the pie than no pie. Somebody leaves and goes off and does their own thing, and they were a great barber and a great asset to our team, and now they're just going to leave. Why not work with them instead of against them?
Yes.
Yeah. So I would do something.
It is,
after this.
You're talking about like apprenticing, almost mentoring. It's like the same with our relationship. It's like you put so much into somebody for them to just go, all right, thanks, see you later. Yeah. It's a very big risk that you're taking, but it's the only way that you get the outcome is if you take that risk.
Yep.
And for me, I've taken many risks. Finally, this risk has worked well enough for me to be very happy with the effort I put into it. So it's hard to do, and I'm sure you've been disappointed, but you probably won't stop. I encourage failure.
I like it because it helps me grow.
Yeah, you learn something.
I don't lose, I learn. I always say that.
Absolutely.
So that's like the biggest thing for me. I've lost money with investments. Obviously I had to put a ton of money into this place because it's a vanilla box. I had, Justin and I had concrete floor and 4 walls. So everything had to be built in here, from the ground up. So we took a big, like, I guess you will, like, loss, doing all this instead of coming into a store that had everything. We just had to paint it and throw chairs and stations and things up in there. But, I've taken a lot of L's, but I've learned from them. Even with like just how I speak to my staff in general, I used to freak out and bug out, and sometimes it'd be in front of customers and I'm like, wow, you're an idiot. Why'd you do that? So now instead of me, reacting in a certain way, I breathe for a second, think about what I want to say, how I want to, go about the situation. Excuse me. Then I'll be like, hey, can I speak to you for a second? We go in the back and we talk about it. So little things like that, whether it's a business where financially I've taken an L or dealing with a customer or client, I've learned a lot. But yeah, I welcome, losses.
Hell yeah. One similarity I see in you and Matt over at Holy Black is you both created something very organically. And you're just being yourselves, and you're bringing people along, and the people that come along are enjoying the same thing that you are. and you're not changing who you are. You're being yourself, and it's creating a community around you, essentially.
Yeah.
You're just being yourself, and it's attracting other people, and you're not changing for anybody, and you're accepting the failures and shit. If I need to change something, I'll change it. But
Yeah.
you know,
And I listen to my team. If you know, there's a couple of different things that the guys at Mauritius wanted to do, and I was like, cool, I'm with it. You know, send me your idea. Let's talk about it. Let's brainstorm on it, and let's put it into play. You know, I don't want to be somebody that these guys can't feel like they can't come to and talk to about an idea that they might have to bring more business up for the shop, or something they want to do differently, or a schedule change, or whatever the case may be. I don't want to be like that stern, uptight boss. You know what I mean? I want people to like understand who I am, but also be able to feel comfortable and cool coming and sitting down and talking with me and going over ways to build the business or something that they're happy or unhappy with.
yeah,
it is hard to hold people accountable. It's harder when you're not holding yourself accountable. So I think that's the cool thing about the mirror, that it shows you owning a business, being a parent. I'm sure it's like you couldn't have done this any sooner. It all kind of happens in the perfect time.
Absolutely.
You know?
Yeah.
So maybe you're getting to the point where you're like Mike's Custom Cuts and you have to buy a restaurant because your team's so big that you need to take them out for Christmas parties and you have a nice restaurant to go to. So shout out to Mike's Custom Cuts. I think that's so crazy. Like this guy.
No, I mean, I'm sure that anybody that knows Mike in the industry, right, looks up to someone like him. You know, he's done a lot of great things in the industry. You know, that barber battle that he did, that's actually how I met Mike.
Oh, yeah?
Originally, yeah, through a friend of mine who was like, oh, yeah, a friend of mine's putting this barber battle together. I'm like, oh, cool. So I ended up going there, meeting him, getting flyers and stuff like that, and like handing them out at my shop. And Mike and I just built a relationship, and we've been cool ever since. So he's definitely someone to look up to in the industry. He's done a lot of great things. And yeah, look, he's expanded to now a restaurant, you know, liquor company, you know, candy store, the ice cream shop, all these different things. It's awesome. You know, and that also shows that came from cutting hair. You know what I mean? That all came from somewhere, and it was cutting hair and meeting people and networking and growing. And I mean, what better place to network than in the barbershop, right? We know everybody. When people say they know a guy, it's the barber. The barbers know a guy. You know what I mean?
Yep, absolutely. I think that's what we've been trying to like expand on and capitalize on. If anything, it's like we know all these fucking people. Like, how do we get them in a room? Maybe the podcast, just conversations, but yeah, there's more to come. No, it's the best thing. As much as I wouldn't advise someone to do it, it might be the best career going.
For sure.
Honestly.
You're in the AC in the summer. You're in
Yeah.
the heat in the winter. I'm out on a 100-degree roof. You create a schedule. You got TVs. You got your phone to look at. You can go grab a bite to eat. I mean, it's an awesome freaking career. Yeah, you have to provide health insurance if your spouse doesn't have it. But if that's like the only thing I'm worried about, whatever. It is what it is. You can make as much money as you want, like I said.
Date
or
a
as little.
nurse. You know? Date a nurse.
Yeah. Date a nurse or a teacher. And, there's your insurance.
Just like, that's amazing, dude. I appreciate you inviting us into your space.
Yeah, of course. Thanks for coming here, man.
Absolutely, man.
Thanks.
Great.
I love, I mean, like I said, I feel like I'm in South Carolina. Like I've never seen this space before. It's like, it's beautiful. Everything's really,
It is very
perfectly
unique.
planned.
Yeah,
And
there are a lot
here.
of people that come in here that are like, I feel like I'm down south in this place. It's funny
Yeah.
you mention that because this is like something that hasn't been done before on the island, and it's really cool and really unique, and it does bring more people together too, which is cool. I've met so many great people from here, and it's awesome.
But you really came through on your promise. I think I hope you're able to lay your head at the pillow and say that like you belong here in this space. Like you fit with this really nice restaurant next door. Everything fits really well. And I think you're going to do amazing here, man.
Thank you.
Appreciate it. Maybe I'll come in for a haircut one day because we're sick of asking each other for haircuts. So I'm just getting my list of like barbershops to go to right now.
Hey, we kill two birds with one stone. You come hit a couple balls, we hang out
right.
and have a drink.
I would love
absolutely.
Give each other haircuts.
Let me get par. Let me get my first par first. I had 2 bogeys the last night.
Maybe we'll get it on the sim.
So happy. I explained to Mike.
I was gonna say, baby, get on the sim.
I would like to, but it felt like I won like $20 in a scratch off. Like that's how excited I was.
Yeah.
Like it was like,
He had a different walk to him after he hit the bogey.
yeah.
You know,
I think I
reels
was
you
wearing
in.
this outfit. I think I was wearing this exact outfit, and I hit the bogey and I walked off. But yeah, no, I would love to play with you. It'd be fun.
Yeah, dude,
We
of
do like
course.
a
It'd be
barber
great.
golf out and get the barber golfers together.
I actually,
Do something.
excuse me. I know that the Holy Black does barber socials, and Justin and I have talked about doing something here in this space. I think it'd be cool. I mean, we have the bar set up.
Perfect.
We
Absolutely.
have couches and plenty of room.
And the sim.
We can kind of move things around. We have the sim, so it's like something where people can engage.
In the industry, you're saying? So barber
Yeah,
related?
in the industry. Yeah, like
Yeah,
we'd love
man,
to.
yeah.
We've talked about it all the time. We just didn't
Perfect guy to do
know.
it.
I guess we could speak to the guys at Holy Black and see
Absolutely.
what they do and whatnot. But I love that idea. I know that's something we would love to do here.
Absolutely.
Just bring barbers together, man. Like I said before, I don't want to work against people. I want to work with people so we can continue to grow and move to the top. Absolutely. And also show people in the industry. Like, it started off cutting hair. We were in our basements. We were cutting hair for our friends and family in the house. And, we've built things, whether you're working in a shop for somebody or it's your own shop, but you could be extremely successful in this career.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think that's why we changed kind of the system we got with the podcast. Like, we want to go to other barbershops because there's really, to us, it's like there's no competition. It's we all love this one thing and we're all doing the same thing, and it's like, why not all come together and create something really cool, and highlight everybody's shop.
What I think is like, and there's now we're finding like key like indicators, like what's going on at these shops, like what will, it's like almost like a little bit of a cheat code to see all these cool things going on behind the scenes at the barbershops. And I think the biggest indicator for people in the industry that have success is that they never really started off with that vision. It's never like they started barbering 20 years ago and they were like, I'm going to have a golf simulator. I'm going to be working for you never thought that.
Yep.
It's just that. And so like, we even talk a little bit about business models, like business plans. It's kind of like, we're just kind of going forwards. So it's like, don't really follow a business plan, I guess. Just kind of do what you like to do, and it will kind of unveil itself a little bit. It's like a hard thing to offer somebody. It's like, I don't have a business plan for you because it's going to look very different for you. But I think that seems to be the key indicator, is that nobody started off with this, like, I'm going to start a podcast, or it's just kind of where you go and just being open to the else.
What's cool about what you guys do, especially, talking to other barbershops or going to other barbershops like you did today, you get to pick everyone's brain and maybe put all these different ideas into something that you may want to do, because all of those little things worked so well, and the things that you like the most worked for you, and you built this awesome thing for your own shop.
Yep.
So that's what's cool about it too.
Thank you. Our golf league starts actually January 26th. No, yeah, we'll do some cool shit outside.
Yo,
the
we should.
barbershop.
We had the thought. I was like, we should get like fucking a bunch of different barbershops and do like a golf outing. Like, that would be so dope.
Yeah, that's I've been talking about that for years now.
Yeah, set that up, Monty. We don't want to do that. Set that up for us.
It's a lot of work, man.
I'm sure
I've
it
talked
is.
to so many people, that have set up these big golf outings. It's just so much work, man.
Yeah.
It's called Monday's Cancer Care that I partnered up with, and we bring cancer patients in here. It's typically on Wednesdays, where they'll come in, they'll either get their head buzzed, and it's all free. It's all complimentary. We do it for them. They'll either get hot towel shaves, haircuts, or both. And this company was willing to partner up to do a golf outing. So, I mean, they know tons of people, medical, and a lot of people in the medical field are into golf, and they also have money. So, right. It was something that we had talked about collaborating with, but we my vision was to bring barbers together, because there's so many barbers that love golf, and we can, all get together, network, talk, laugh, joke, and play some golf.
I love that.
Absolutely.
Start a WhatsApp group.
We'll figure it out. We'll figure it out. Mike, we're going to talk.
Yeah.
JC the Barber? He was part of that. He started
JC the Barber.
He started that Broke Barbers Club.
Yeah.
Or Anti-Broke Barbers Club.
Yeah.
Filipino cat or whatever. He like went crazy with the golf.
Yeah.
Like, went into golf crazy. I mean, he was on the other side of the country, but there's some. Yeah, there's some. I don't think a lot of
Philly.
barbers have
You
a lot
guys
of,
know
like,
Philly?
What's that?
Yeah, Philly.
Yeah. He's in LA.
Barber?
I think he's in California.
Yeah.
But he did. I think it's called Fades and Fairways. He did that golf outing. It was sick, and he obviously he cuts a lot of celebrities. So I'm sure he used the network that he had to put together a dope outing. Definitely. And it was sick. He did. I really would have loved to fly in. We were chatting, and I was like, dude, I want to come so bad, but I just had too much going on that I couldn't get away. So who knows? Maybe next year. But it's an awesome idea. You're getting the network that you've worked with on top of barbers that love to golf and whoever else, and you bring everyone together. It's great.
Yeah, we got to set that up.
We'll figure it out.
I love it. I
We're
did want to
definitely
do
gonna
a barber boxing match, but we'll do the golf.
Nah, boxing's over. Golf's in.
I think barbers boxing. I think that would be a great venue for a barber.
There
boxing.
are a lot of barbers that are into boxing too,
and they have the chains and they have the beards. Like, go ahead, let's fight. I don't know. But yeah, Monty, thank you for having us in your space.
Of course,
bro.
thanks for coming,
brother.
man.
Great day.
This was
Whatever
awesome.
you're doing, and let's connect again.
For sure, we'll do.
I want to take my hat off. And do a
Journeyman
golf thing.
out.
Peace out.